Welcome to the Burnout Box. Thank you for tuning in.
Man, I was already going to cut you off in the first 5 seconds.
Ken's like, let's go already.
You do that a lot, Donnie.
Do I? Apparently. That's what they say. I don't think I do. But anyway, hey, yeah, thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. I don't know if you've seen any previous episodes. We're going to touch on a lot of stuff that we've talked about before, so make sure if you haven't been watching them, you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff in the bottom of the video there. And go ahead and catch up, share it with your friends, family, coworkers, anyone else that could possibly want to see random facts that I know.
And real shit that I know.
Okay. Ouch. Brian, don't laugh at him. Don't encourage that kind of talk.
Sorry, Donnie.
It's okay. It's okay. All right, while we're waiting for some people to jump in, I guess we'll touch on some stuff from previous weeks. So the Ranger, well, you weren't here. I got to catch you up a little bit.
I was at a race.
You were racing last week, so me and Joe were here.
I was not racing. I was at a race. I was crewing.
Okay. Give you the brief summary. We're getting a Ranger. It's going to have 2.3 EcoBoost, 10R80. That's all we know now.
By we, he means all of North America.
Yes, yes. We do have international followers and watchers, I guess. I have to watch that. Apparently, MFP Australia, this right now, I think is Friday morning at like 10, 11 for them.
That sounds about right.
And they all apparently closed down the shop and they're watching Burnout Box, which I can't believe they're paying people to watch our talk show, but whatever. Anyway, North America is getting the Ranger, 2.3 EcoBoost, 10R80. Ranger Raptor has been confirmed. Literally is going to be a mini F-150 Raptor. Fox shocks, whole same grille.
That's kind of awesome.
It's sweet, but not confirmed from North America yet.
Oh.
2.0 four-cylinder compound turbo diesel is what the Ranger Raptor has.
That's real different.
Jason wants to know who's swinging the donuts in the opener.
I think that was you.
In the red car, it was. That was Justin.
Yeah. We kind of all passed her around and had our fun with her that day, but I think that video specifically was Justin.
I did the donuts the longest.
You did.
Michael, no, the donuts.
First gear, though.
Michael, the donuts are not digital, actually. Those were actual donuts that Justin did. We have an area that we call,
there it is.
It's basically the Burnout.
It is the Burnout Box, actually.
Literally, do whatever stupid stuff you want to.
Yeah, that's like, hey, yeah, you want to go do donuts in your truck? Go do it over there.
Hi, Jason, in Michigan.
Oh, yeah, let's see. But anyway, so only new news we have on Ranger is there was a diesel Ranger spotted spying up in Michigan.
Didn't you tell me that there's diesel written on the gas cap?
Actually, Chris can just go ahead and throw that photo up real quick. But yeah, it's all camouflaged or whatever. And I guess their test mule driver maybe isn't great at the pump. And yeah, they literally stuck like a piece of duct tape over the camouflage and wrote diesel on the gas cap.
Sarah Mantic wants to know what clutch did we use. Sarah, that one doesn't have a Mantic clutch in it, sorry.
What clutch do we use in what?
In the Burnouts.
It's got a torque converter.
Oh, yes. That car's an auto. What did we call it now? What is it? What should I be calling it?
Chucky.
Chucky won the contest.
Chucky won the contest. Einar wants to know if the Ranger Raptor will arrive to the U.S. and with a diesel, will VMP be interested to tune and modify a small high-tech bi-turbo diesel?
I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, we won't tell you no. Bring us your truck. We'll make something happen.
Tuning's tuning.
But at this point, the Ranger Raptor has not been confirmed for U.S. All we know it's going to be overseas. Hopefully we get it. There has been major Ford execs that have been on the record and on interviews saying they really think the Ranger Raptor would do well over here. So if that's the understanding in Ford Motor Company, I don't know why we wouldn't get it, but right now we don't know for sure. But we are going to get, hypothetically, that diesel Ranger with the 3.2 Power Stroke out of the Transit. Do you even know that you can get a diesel Transit?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that till about 5:45 when I was doing research. But yeah, you can get a 3.2 liter inline 5 Power Stroke overseas everywhere, I think, and then over here all we have it in is the Transit right now. But that's what they're thinking is going to be what's been getting tested. So yeah, over there on our gas cap, you can see has literally black duct tape and diesel written on it. So whoever's testing,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, if you zoom out and go to the whole body shot, which I don't know if Chris has that, but we think that's going to be U.S. truck because it has the split grille that's only been shown on U.S. model Rangers, and it has the square LED fog lights that's only on US model Rangers that we've seen so far. So hopefully we get it.
It's already happening. Ken Ingram wants to know, what is the limit on questions about the Gen 3?
What is the limit on questions?
I don't think we have a limit.
No, I think we should probably just start talking about Gen 3. So,
Couple things. Matt Coates says that they already have them there. They have great intercooler upgrades.
Yeah.
Matt Coates was at the shop last week, and we got to see a lot of his goodies, and he got to take some goodies back to Australia with him as well.
And Bo is saying hi from Canada.
Hey.
From Canada. Did I tell you I took the Australians to Outback?
Yes.
They loved it. They loved it, actually. It was great. We walked in, and I'm sitting here waiting for them to rip the place apart, making fun of it. And they're like, oh, no, the pictures on the wall actually look like they're taken in Australia. You know, all the names on the menu were correct. I was like, guys, I was hoping for like a comedy bit here, and you guys would be making fun of it the whole time. But actually, they loved it.
I know we were going to go into the Gen 3, but before we do, someone's asking, Antonia's asking, will we offer supercharger cases again for the 2.3? And Rick is asking, what? I guess, will the 0304 Cobras get a VMP 2650 TVS?
Okay, so we got two questions here. I'll answer those real quick. We're not planning to do a case upgrade again. We initially launched that with the Gen 2. We got a few of them on the initial order, and they really didn't sell that well. So, yeah, we're not going to be doing a case upgrade, at least not a new case upgrade. If you find some used parts, or if you find a used Gen 2 or a Gen 2R, that's probably your best bet. On the 03 Cobra, the 2650 VMP Gen 3 for the Cobra is confirmed. Do we have a picture of that easily accessible, Chris? I don't know if you have one already loaded from last week.
2 weeks ago.
Like I said, what
3
kind
weeks
of
ago?
what Cobra guy doesn't know we have it? Because I know
Yeah.
I've seen it plastered on every Cobra page.
It's been on the forums.
It was getting shared on the forums, on everywhere. They're all excited.
They were screenshotting our video and everything. So.
Yeah, I think the first picture of VMP confirmed 2650 for Cobra was out before our show was over.
Well, just watch the previous 2 shows ago. You can see those pictures. And that blower is still May, June at this point. So right now we're focusing on launching the GT500 in the Coyote version.
Gary's tuning in from the UK, and he says that they need a UK branch of VMP. He says, sort it out, Justin. Tons of Mustangs here and no tuners. Help!
Hey, we ship overseas. You can call us up, email us, order anything you need.
I've got Jason is thinking of going E85, but he lives in Michigan, concerned about the car sitting all winter. Have a tune that said it was fine as long as I start the car every couple of weeks. Is this true?
Like, when somebody tells me to just like start something up, unless you're going to get it hot and drive it, not real crazy about that.
And the other concern with the E85 is the fuel does go bad a little bit quicker. So if we're just starting it and letting it get warm, and we've got a full tank of E85 we put in there before the first snow of winter.
I was telling somebody, I don't know how much quicker it goes bad. It absorbs moisture.
Okay.
So, and if you got a lot of temperature changes, hot then cold, condensation forms. But I mean, the simple answer is just put some 93 in there. Everybody's got handheld tuners nowadays that hold multiple tunes. Swap tunes, throw 93 in it. Don't worry about it.
Dave says, love the show and thank you, Justin and Donnie. Run your tune on my 12 GT500. And can you tune out the TPMS?
TPMS is in a different module, so no. Yeah. Now, you know what though? SCT's been adding a lot of TPMS support. We'd have to get back to you on that. And we might want to save some of these tuning related questions for Tuning Tuesday with Joe and Alex.
Yeah.
Right-hand drive long tubes are available. Sweet.
Okay. You got any questions over on the YouTube, or should I move on to my next pre-planned Donnie Fun Facts topic?
Someone wants to know if there are any videos of the Gen 3 dyno pools.
We'll get there.
Ooh, yes.
They must have been listening in on our meeting before this.
Yeah. Do we want to cut to the race or cut to the dyno testing first?
Michael says Gen 3.
Gen 3.
He wants to go to Gen 3.
Give the people what they want.
But that doesn't answer our question of do we cut to lights out or do we cut to the dyno testing? Because both revolve around Gen 3.
Well, I would start with
All right, I
lights
guess
out.
the first person to comment on Facebook and tell me if you want to hear about us going to the racetrack with the Gen 3.
I would go to the racetrack first.
Oh, okay. Well, Carrie decided for you. Sorry.
Yep.
All right, so last weekend, you got to go to the sleepover with me. Me and Justin went camping in the RV up at Lights Out.
Yes, Donald Long, Duck, had his Lights Out race at South Georgia Motorsports Park. It was awesome. The place was packed. The fog rolled in, and people had to stop racing because they couldn't see the cars at the end of the racetrack.
Yeah, that was at like 10 o'clock at night on Friday or Saturday night.
It's like 11:30 or midnight.
Was it that late?
No, you're right. But so what's awesome about Lights Out is they got the curfew lifted because they rezoned and annexed into a different city and all kinds of stuff. But they can race as late as they want.
Until they get it done.
Yeah,
that's great.
So my wife, Rebecca, raced her 2011 GT in the Ultra Street class, and we've got the Gen 3 on there. We're testing it out with some different pulley combos, working on the tuning, and of course, this car runs low 8s, so suspension is of utmost importance. We're always dealing with that as we have. Soft tune and a large pulley combo. The car's running awesome. We got the 8th mile time slip there. Duck's race is an 8th mile race. So it went 131 in the 8th, which is a new best.
I was going to say, didn't she mile an hour and ET her best yet in the 8th?
Yes. Yeah. On a comparatively soft 60 foot for the car. It's been a 117, but it went a 1.2. The track was having all kinds of problems that weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Prep.
They couldn't, I mean, they do great, but they're like, yeah, we somehow VHT didn't get put down, diesel fuel was mixed into the tank.
We don't even know, so I don't want to talk about the rumors, but the rain and everything else, they didn't start racing until Wednesday night. The track didn't come around until Thursday, and we were still keeping the tune-up soft because it's better to make a hit a little bit slower than spin and not get any data.
Yeah.
But it was a good time, furthered our Gen 3 development. We've been doing lots of dyno pulls, lots of track runs with that car, keeping the pulley pretty conservative, so we've got a lot more to play with.
Yeah. I know she was stoked. She had a great time. I didn't even need to ask how the car ran when she came back with the 5:28 time slip because she got out and you could see she was happy. So, but yeah, I love going to Lights Out and No Mercy, which will be at No Mercy too in the fall coming up. I don't know when dates are for that.
No Mercy and Lights Out is known as the home of the flying cars. Everything from index cars up to 4,500 horsepower radial versus the world cars. Oh. The place is always packed with racers and spectators. It's a very cool experience.
Yeah, I love going. Street Outlaws were there. Not that that was that important to our world, but.
Michael says 7s possibly with Gen 3 eventually? Question mark.
Absolutely.
We have a couple questions coming in here. They're not related to the Gen 3. Do you want me to hold them until after you finish talking about the Gen 3, or shall we go ahead?
Are they related at all? We'll
one's
catch up
talking
on
about,
those. Yeah,
one's talking about a Mantic clutch. The other one's talking about, from your experience, we're going 650 wheel in weather. None of it's really Gen 3.
We'll get to those questions. We got plenty of time for the show.
Sure.
Okay, you got it.
So, Joe was doing some testing on the dyno with the Gen 3 today on our SEMA car.
I know, because I had a headache standing 400 feet away inside the shop.
It was awesome.
The exhaust is a little loud.
The track attack's rowdy, but it's good. Do they get audio of track attack? Or? Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not sure if did you get audio?
That was the baseline pulley that we started with on pump gas that you see under the hood there. Just run the biggest pulley we can, keep the boost down.
And even with, you pulleyed it way up on pump gas, didn't you still make a little more than what she's made before?
We made a lot more than what she's made before.
Okay.
It's, people don't need to be trying that shit at home on stock motors.
No, of course not.
So,
the other thing is don't stand in front of your car with a cell phone while on the dyno at home.
Who did that?
Putting that out there.
You leave that to the professionals.
Leave that
Professionals
to
can
the
do that. You
professionals.
don't do it at home.
I had to get video of the belt. I was ready to jump back, I swear.
You definitely didn't look like you were happy to be standing there.
No.
But yeah, Joe's been cranking at it all day. It sounded good.
It sounded real good. Did you see how fast it pulled?
I did. I was in my head. I'm thinking, okay, I know they said they were going to do it in 5th gear, and the car has 331s, and it seemed like it kind of went right up to the red line very quickly.
Yeah.
Considering what's that 5th gear in that car? Not that I would know. Is like 180 at red line, and yeah, it definitely sounded like it got there quick.
Yeah. We might have to go out there and make some dyno pulls after the show.
Okay. Burnout Box round 2 started going live at 7:45. Just kidding. The media guy's sitting over there giving me the death look like, no, I'm not staying until 7:45.
Just run a cable out there and leave your laptop on. We'll handle the rest.
Yeah, I can run the camera.
So we tested Track Attack at a bunch of different boost levels, and we keep working towards that magic number.
Salvador Ortega, what pulley options will be offered with the Gen 3?
Big as heck and small as hell. Make all the boost.
Yeah.
A little bit of the boost and all the boost. No, Sal, we went down to a 69 on Track Attack, and it's got a 5% lower on it.
Yeah.
It makes boost at will. You do not need a lot of pulley on the Gen 3 to make boost.
What else do we have really done to Track Attack? I know it's stock block.
AFCO Dynatech long tubes.
Yep.
Oh, I think it's got oil pump gears.
It does. I think it does have oil pump crank gear. But other than that, we're dealing with stock internals,
stock pistons and rods,
stock valve train, all of it.
Crazy.
Pat says us doing live dynos would be pretty sweet.
You know, I don't know how many dyno pulls you've sat through, Pat, but actually, it's don't get me wrong, the 15 seconds of glory where the car's running up, hitting the rev limiter, awesome. But out there, 99% of his time is spent sitting in the car, looking at the log from the last pull, updating the tune, then going back to the log, then updating the tune. Then he puts the tune in the car. Then they do that 15 seconds of awesomeness, and then they go back to sitting in the car for 30 minutes, making all the data work out.
It's a lot of sitting and waiting.
Yeah, but it sounds awesome for that 15 seconds.
It does.
Corrupted on YouTube says that we want a customer beer and boost party.
Beer and boost.
Beer and boost. I like that.
Some
that has
kegs,
a good ring to it.
Some boost. We got to do an open house at the new shop sometime soon.
Eventually, yeah. That's what we're going to call it. I think he just named it. Beers and Boost. VMP's grand opening. I like it.
Funny.
I got nothing else on the Facebook. Really? That's it? No more. Anybody else input on Gen 3?
I think they want dyno numbers, but we're not giving out the dyno numbers just yet. We got to get to that magic number.
Let's see. Joseph on Facebook says you should have a raffle for the new Gen 3 at the NMRA opener. Michael says a 6th gen Camaro with a built 416 LT1 made 1153 wheel with a 2650 on race gas, not even E85. Can the Mustangs match or exceed?
With a built motor, I would think so.
I mean, it's 2650 options for Camaro is just Magnuson, right?
Yeah.
Which they're running same rotor pack as we are.
Yeah, same rotors. That car is awesome. I know the guy that built it and tunes it and everything. That's that thing's sweet. It's got a lot of technology in it too.
Oh yeah. The dual mass airflow is amazing on that.
What are you saying, Carrie?
Salvador wants to know if we would elaborate on the quote magic number. Is it 4 digits? And then Michael comes back and says it must be 4 digits.
It's magical. Yep.
It's magical.
Yep.
Keep tuning in.
It's break the internet type of magical.
I agree.
Man. So I got the dyno graph from Joe's pull earlier.
Oh, you're just gonna tease them? They're like 5 feet away, and you're looking at the numbers.
Yeah, that's why I said we might have to go out there after the show when it's a little bit cooler. Throw that fresh belt on there that you picked up. And I've got everything here. I've got the boost curves.
Oh, we had the media department freaking out because me and Justin are more concerned with trying to get Track Attack tested more a little bit. So I ran to the parts store to pick up a new belt for it at like, 5:15, and nobody in this office that runs the live show knew pretty much where I was at, and Justin kind of hadn't updated, so that was good stuff.
Just asked me. I would have told him.
Oh yeah, Carrie's sending me Facebook messages while I'm there trying to just hurry back.
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes before the show. Paul said, what size throttle body and intake on the 2650?
So, do you have the picture of track attacks on the dyno with the engine bay on the dyno, Chris? Is that a video or a picture?
Yeah, roll the video again. I'm sure there's fresh people watching. Plus, who doesn't like dyno pulls?
So,
can you stop it there, maybe?
We basically just swapped a Gen 3 on it and left all the existing hardware. It's got a JLT 120mm, and we swapped on the VMP 173. We initially tested it with a 67.
We did.
On pump gas and low boost and everything. It did pretty good.
It still made a little more, I think, than it made with smaller pulley combination.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's got a JLT 120 on it, like a street style cold air.
Justin, can you comment on the drivability of the Gen 3 with the various throttle bodies?
Pretty much the same as always. The big throttle body is race application. The 173, the smaller throttle body, the 160 is more of a street strip application. And we do have the adapter plates to use the twin 67 on the Gen 3 as well. I think we showed those on the last show. There's one around here somewhere.
Several people are asking if there's going to be an upgrade kit and or trade-in for Gen 2s or Gen 2Rs towards the purchase of a Gen 3.
What do you think, Donnie?
For previous customers.
I think we've heard them, and we're talking about it. And
serious consideration. You know, there's a lot to a program like that, because what do you do when somebody trades you in a busted blower? You know, do you give them a discounted amount, or do you say no? I mean, you'd like to still work something out. Sometimes we can use parts off of blowers. You know, if your blower is the latest Gen 2R, it's perfectly good. You're probably going to get more on the private market, but we're looking at offering a trade-in program. Strongly considering that. There's so many different versions of TVSs at this point that we have to kind of classify by Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 2R, Roush. There's actually some Ford racing units out there for the GT500.
Yeah.
But we're looking at it.
Salvador, what did Track Attack dyno with the previous blower?
So we were making about. Do you
I want to say best number on pump gas with Torco was around 730, 740 to the rear wheels.
Yeah, I think we did that one time with a small pulley on it.
Yeah, you pulleyed down, and that was like a money shot. I'm pretty sure, like fresh in the morning.
The car was usually raced at like 650.
We can just talk about what was the difference between Gen 2 and Gen 2R.
So there were a couple of reasons we did that. We wore out the tooling for the Gen 2. And we had to redo the tooling, so we decided to make some design tweaks, kind of the last hurrah for the 2.3 liter rotor pack.
Gotcha.
You know, and at that point we knew that the Gen 3 was coming. We just, Eaton took a while to validate the rotors and get them out. They took almost 2 years.
Sure.
But Gen 2 versus Gen 2R, still a stock GT500 bolt pattern, but a larger opening and some increases in internal volume. A little bit of a change in the look to make it a little cleaner and a little bolder. And there was an EGR hump in the back of the Gen 2 that was popular for people to cut out and weld a plate in and then pour everything smooth. We just decided to make it that way. So, you know, the Gen 3 already has the EGR hump gone. It's got the bigger throttle body flange. You know, but, you know, an R version in the future. But hey, let us get the Gen 3 out.
Let's get the Gen 3 out.
The results so far are awesome. It's going to keep you guys happy for a while.
Kellen Stone, hey Justin, doesn't care about me. My motor and trans is going in this weekend.
That's awesome to hear, Kellen. We're looking forward to getting your car tuned and making some power soon.
Michael says no trade-in, just buy another Mustang. I like it. It's a good thought process. I wish I could explain that to people in my life. Just trade it in. Got anything over on YouTube? You got anything you're thinking in your head? I know you're looking at that beautiful graph.
Right now on YouTube, it's just previous questions that at some point we'll have to hit on.
So, Track Attack's got a 5% lower. That's got a 69mm upper. We're really not having to run very small pulleys to make 20 pounds, which is awesome. I know that was a question for Salvatore. He had some questions on pulleys and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. He was just wondering what pulley options we were gonna have, and
yeah, we're actually gonna have a 3.3 for the 10 rib kit and for the GT500s if you need to get your boost really low, and then for the Coyote, we're gonna probably have to make some bigger pulleys than we currently offer.
Yeah.
To get the boost as low as people want. A stock balancer Coyote, we're gonna have to make like an 88 or 90mm pulley, and the thing's still gonna make a lot of power for a stock motor.
We'll have to start coming out with like -5 balancer range.
Yeah, or we're gonna have to limit throttle angle in the tune.
Yeah.
Salvador wants to know if VMP will venture into making a front feed blower, and Jason says, why a rear feed instead of front feed on the Gen 3?
Well, so that's an interesting question. It's something we've looked at, but it's always been important to me for people to be able to buy a part and it be modular with their other components. So many people already have pulleys, throttle bodies, cold air kits, entire supercharger kits. And staying with the rear feed, the Gen 3 is a direct swap for everybody. I mean, we've got an adapter plate to use a stock GT500 throttle body if you need to. I don't know why you'd want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really modular. It's really easy to install or upgrade on a Coyote or a GT500. So.
Well, I mean, and speaking of why you wouldn't want the GT500, talking about airflow, you know, when we're doing a front feed, unfortunately, we kind of have to share our space with the snout going out to the blower belt. So obviously with our rear feed, we don't necessarily have anything in our way limiting throttle body size or whatnot either in the back.
Joe jumped on and said, do not spill the beans, guys. Do not spill the beans.
Do not spill the beans.
At least time Joe put little hashtag Joe.
Yeah.
Because he's commented before not realizing he's VMP Performance. We won't cite specific instances.
Jason wants to know, will there be powder-coated color options for the Gen 3? And Michael wants to know, are the bearings in the Gen 3 better than the bearings in the Gen 2R?
They are actually the same bearings, and they hold. We haven't seen any bearing failures. If you've got some specific instances where you had bearing failures, you know, we can analyze that offline, but the same bearings, because we've seen incredible RPM potential out of the Gen 2s, Gen 2Rs, and even now the Gen 3. The color questions. We are exploring some custom paint options. What would you be willing to pay for a custom painted blower, custom color option? That would really help us narrow down how to offer that.
Yeah.
John says, Donnie did an awesome job with my upgrades install in Juliet. Will you guys be able to do an install of the Gen 3 this year?
Yes, but you'll have to hit us up at Shelby Fest because we will not be at Joliet this year.
John had the white S550, right? I think.
Yep.
I'm not sure, he didn't say.
I think that was John. But yeah, we can make it happen. If I'm anywhere near, if we're in the area, I can make it happen. So call up sales support, we'll get you figured out. All right, I got nothing else on the Facebook. Mark says $100 to $200. I don't think I could get my laptop powder coated for $100.
Yeah, that's tough because we get the blowers built 100 at a time. They all get shipped here, assembled, and then we actually have to take one out of a box and disassemble it. You know, have it customized. It's a lot of labor. It's a lot of a hiccup in a otherwise automated process almost.
Yeah. Now Jason says 500 to 600. That's a little more we're starting to be able to play.
Yeah, we're starting to be able to play a lot more there. And you know, in reality, depending on the process and the color options, it might fall somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I haven't been necessarily in the talks, but I've kind of heard what you guys have been talking. But yeah, we have seriously been considering it, and I think actually a few test ones went out just to test a few coating options and whatnot. So
Track Attack's blower is black.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got Gen 3s unfinished. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
A guy named Alex on YouTube says, I think 500 for color options sounds about right.
Okay.
And Mark came back and said he'd pay $500 for a Kona blue one.
Kona blue.
Okay.
Jason, Kona blue. What a beautiful color.
Jason Freeberg came back and said $500 to $600.
Okay. Gives us something to work with.
Salvador says 500 seems reasonable.
500 seems reasonable. So $499 it is. Done.
Doesn't work like that, Donnie.
And Corrupted said 500, and I need one of the first set of 100 you get.
Okay. Yeah, we're working on that pre-order program too.
We are working on the pre-order program.
Yeah. So it's not ready yet. We'll announce here when it is ready.
So that goes back to our like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Make sure that beautiful notification of VMP Performance is now live is popping up on your Facebook. That way you never miss anything. Because yeah, we are kind of covering 2650 here. This is pretty much our media outlet for talking about it and whatever else for you guys. So
what's our next topic?
Yeah, I guess we got no other questions. The Bullitt Mustang that I was in love with, the first one got sold. Very affordable.
For how much?
Well, you know, $300,000.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
$300,000. It actually went to Barrett Jackson. And Steve McQueen and Ford said they're just going to auction off in 001, no reserve, nothing else. They're just going to auction it off. And the money they auctioned it off for, the $300,000, actually went to the boys' home that Steve McQueen grew up in.
That's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah. So I think they donated, they did donate 100% of the profits.
Wow.
No reserve, just put it up there and okay, who wants number one? So good for the guy whoever bought that, good for him, just because, you know, me and you know that the car will be out in a couple months and it's going to be for sale for around 50. So whoever decided to go ahead and bid 300,000 just either is very nice or needed to get more write-offs on their taxes this year.
Maybe we should take Track Attack to the auction.
Yeah? Who would come by Track Attack? There we go. Well, of course, now that we just said that, you know there's about to be 30 comments. Is it going to have a Gen 3 on it? Then can I have the first Gen 3? Michael, actually, speaking of which, says release date for Gen 3. Right now for GT500 and 5.0, we're looking at around March, right, Justin?
Mid to late March.
Okay. So yeah, we're not 100% on that yet, but that's what we're shooting for. Definitely March. Don Baker says, hello, young lady. I don't know if he's talking to me or you.
Or to me.
Or to you. Yeah, he could be talking to you. I guess you're back there. He can hear you.
He can hear me.
Bullitt, that's done.
So how about those 2018 Navigators? What's the deal with those?
Navigator. An 18 Navigator is selling faster than Ford can make them, actually. Which is impressive because the two top-selling ones are the Black Label and one other model, but of course I can't recall right this second, which both are $90,000 and $100,000. And those are the best-selling ones, and they can't keep them in dealerships. They've openly said, if we had made more Navigators, we could have sold more Navigators by now.
Wow.
And I mean, they're just super nice. I mean, their sales are up over what they've been in the past, so they're actually stealing Escalade owners because that's pretty much the competition for them, Escalade and Yukon Denali.
Yeah, the 3.5 EcoBoost, and I'm sure the 10-speed auto is pretty sweet in that truck.
Actually, it has the same power output as the Raptor.
Wow.
You get 450 horsepower out of the EcoBoost and the Navigator. Granted, you're hauling around 10,000 pounds of massaging seats and whatnot, so you kind of need the power.
About 6,000 pounds.
Is that really all they are?
Yeah. Rebecca's long Expedition only weighs 6,000.
Wow, that's impressive. But I know they are using that aluminum body panels and frame and whatever else.
The new one should be lighter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's loaded up.
Seats 8. That's what I need.
Yeah.
Ray Shaw says, Justin, when will you talk Cindy into a Mustang?
Oh gosh, Ray. We'll talk about that later.
Roby says a tune and pulley will make that what kind of power on a 13 GT500?
So tune and pulley, that would be like our stage 3 kit.
Yep.
And that's going to make mid to high 600s at the wheel.
You throw a throttle body and an intake on that and you'll really be happy.
Yeah, make high 600s. Yeah.
And of course, John comes on with any dyno numbers on the Gen 3 for the Trinity 1314.
1314. Those are happening.
I was going to say, I think
very, very soon.
Thinking of my shop schedule and what we have planned.
Yeah, there's a car in the shop, a Trinity car. It's built a lot.
To the moon.
Yes. It's getting a Gen 3, and that thing is going to lay down some awesome numbers.
Yeah.
Though.
And I think we have more than one GT500 to get tested now that we
Yeah.
have our GT500 we're playing with. Isn't that slated to get a Gen 3 fairly soon to give people
As soon as you put a new clutch in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Those transmissions don't come out easy. The exhaust is right in the way on GT500s with that big old solid bell housing. That'll be fun. Yeah. Great.
Joe says, dem seats, dough.
Them seats.
They're a little worn
dope.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, GT500, we're going to do a clutch and then Gen 3 testing. I think you've already been doing some testing on GT500, haven't we?
It might have a big throttle body on it.
Yeah.
On a stock blower, just to, fine-tune drivability and stuff like that.
Sure. See what else we can get out of it.
John from Juliet, who was talking earlier, wants to know if we have a specific carrier that we recommend to ship cars down to us to work on.
Ooh. I don't think anybody specific. Just whoever you can find who's got good ratings.
Who do we use that lost Track Attack going to SEMA for like 4 days?
Oh, he
Whoever that is, don't use them.
Yeah, he just showed up late. He showed up late.
Okay. Yeah. Fun stuff.
4 days late?
No.
No, not 4 days. Maybe that was another car. I'm thinking of another car that we had issues with in-house. Somebody bought that, then they lost their car for like 4 or 5 days. The shipper just couldn't find, oh yeah, we don't know where it is. It showed up in one piece though.
They just picked up Alex's car yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was supposed to be picked up Friday, and then gets picked up last Friday, gets picked up yesterday. Good stuff.
I think they usually give you like a 10-day window for pickup and delivery of the car. And I mean, most anywhere in the US you can drive in 3 to 4 days, maybe 5 days if you're a truck driver. So they just like to leave a big window.
Sure. John, will you need more than boost up pump and 52 injectors to run Gen 3 TBS? Thanks for your help. Awesome channel.
If we can get a big enough pulley, you could probably get away with that. But most people are going to be spending the money for a Gen 3. They're going to be wanting to make a lot of power or have the appropriate upgrades like fuel system and even built motor.
Yeah.
That's kind of our target market. The Gen 2R is still going to be a current product and it's still going to be out there.
Yeah, I was going to say Gen 2R isn't planning on going anywhere, is it?
Nope.
So, yeah, Gen 3 is basically going to be for the guys that want to make the big power. You got a built motor. You've exceeded what we can safely do in other outlets anymore. Why are you yawning? We got 15 minutes left.
Oh, gosh, Johnny.
Well, and we're making dyno polls after this gets over. We got to get footage for next week. Me and you are going out, and we're going to go make another magic number.
I thought we were going to do that in the morning.
I mean...
The weather's better tonight. It's supposed to rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more dense.
Yeah, Pat came back and said Gen 3 dyno numbers.
It's a magic number, Pat.
Since we're have about 15 minutes, we're probably not going to get through, well, you might get through all your topics, but we still have some questions over on YouTube if we want to hit them real quick.
Yeah, let's hit those.
Yeah, let's hit our non-Gen 3 questions.
Yeah, they're non-Gen 3. So Chad says, from your experience, if you were going for 650 wheel horsepower for a fun, nice weather car, would you rather have an 11 to 12 GT500 or a 15 to 18 GT? Also, is the 5.4 and 5.8 very expensive to rebuild if you blow it up?
It's a tough one. Because the 11, 12 GT500s are getting into the low 30s in price.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we paid $24,000 for ours, but it's got a lot of miles on it.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the technology and the horsepower and everything else you're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting.
It's a good value.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as rebuilding the GT500, the only thing you have to watch out for is they do have the 5.4, the aluminum block 5.4 and 5.8. They've got those spray-in cylinder liners.
What are they, like Nicocel coated?
Yeah, plasma,
Really?
arc. So depending on how bad you blow one up, you can just go right through the block and just destroy it if like a rod breaks or something. But they don't usually blow up. And if you build it before it blows, you're golden. You know, you just.
What's the weak point on those? What do you really? What are we expecting to go when we put high horsepower?
Around rods, but not
Rods?
till like 800 at the wheel.
Knock knock. Who's there? Your rod number 7. I got.
My Hat Rocks says, does VMP sell the fans to mount onto the Stage 1 heat exchanger, or would I have to buy one with the fans already on it?
You really want to buy one with the fans already on it.
Because isn't our Stage 1 a single pass?
Yeah, we used to sell it. It used to be a triple pass without fans, but now it's a much smaller single pass.
Yeah, I was going to say our Stage 1 is actually a completely different heat exchanger. It's only single pass, so you're still benefiting by upgrading. Not only are you getting the fans, you're getting 3 passes through the heat exchanger if you do that upgrade.
And there's a separate wiring harness that's got connectors for the fans and everything.
Einar says, is the reason VMP does not really want to mess with the EcoBoost or EcoBoost is because of the weak block and integrated exhaust manifold that does not seem to be able to handle serious power upgrades?
Since when did we not mess with EcoBoost?
I mean, we've messed with them before. We've got one sitting outside. I'm driving it home tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do tunes for them. We can do intercooler upgrades, fuel system.
You know, to answer his question, we don't mess with them heavily because we don't feel like it's what our target customer group wants. Most of our customers want minimum 600 wheel, and you're not going to do that with an EcoBoost without spending tons of money.
Yeah. I got a few on Facebook.
Yep, give me a second. Slab Shack says, I would love a Gen 2 case and throttle body swap kit if offered. There's a reason why I'm hitting YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I forgot YouTube comments disappear.
They disappear, exactly.
Yeah. So he wants Gen 2 case and throttle body?
Yeah, just look for a used Gen 2 blower, especially once these Gen 3s hit.
Martin says, do you think I need a tune revision if I swap my ported TBS for a Gen 2R on my 14 GT500?
I would definitely get with your tuner and data log it. You know, since the 1314 already has a TVS, the VMP is going to be running similar boost and airflow levels. Our flow's a little bit more, but the tune's going to account for that to some extent. But take some data logs, send them to your tuner. That's going to be the final say.
And that's all I have on YouTube.
All right, Facebook, we've been getting busy. Michael wants to know, is a Gen 3 capable of 800 rear wheel horsepower on an 09 GT500 with full bolt-ons but on a stock lower E85? I think the Gen 3 is capable. I think then we go back to talking about our rods in our GT500. At 800 wheel, isn't that where we're kind of starting to get worried?
That's going to be pushing the limit of the stock engine. But at this point, it'd be
don't want to talk numbers.
Don't talk numbers. They tell me.
Okay.
But get your Gen 3 pre-order in.
Mike Kelly, release date and cost for $26.50.
We talked about that earlier.
I was just going to tell Mike. Mike wants to know. Come on.
Mid to late March, $39.99.
Another Mark wants to know, what transmission would you recommend for a Coyote making 1,000+ wheel horsepower manual trans?
Oh gosh, so that's that
TR6066.
Yeah.
66. Yep.
Have Ben Calamer go through it. He's got all kinds of tricks and polishing and coatings and treatments and stuff that make it shift like butter. And a Mantic triple disc. I think they're going to be on the show next week.
Yes. Martin says, how about a Polish option for the Gen 3?
Polished.
Oh, polish, sorry.
Polish blower?
Polish. I thought it Polish for a second there.
Polishing takes a lot of time. It makes paint sound easy and inexpensive.
Sorry.
Mario wants to know, does the upgrade make sense for customers with the Gen 2R with first gen Coyotes with only oil pump gears? who don't plan on going past a 79mm pulley?
It's going to make a lot more power even with our bigger pulleys, but your Coyote is going to be on the edge, so that's a choice you would need to make.
But I will say the one good thing he could look at is because we're going to be going up in pulley sizes to keep him at his safe power level he wants to be, we're now spinning that blower slower while still making the same power, so IATs go down and...
Yeah, same power or more.
Yeah, same power or more, and we're spinning the blower slower, not heating everything up nearly as fast. So there are still some benefits if you want to keep it same power level.
I mean, we'll be putting a Gen 3 on Chucky just to see what happens.
You want to hit Gary, you miss Gary. What about a VMP Gen 3?
Oh.
1000?
What about a VMP Gen 3 1000 horsepower pump gas 5.4 liter GT500? So I'm guessing with stronger rods, pistons, cams, oil pump gears, does it need to be sleeve block as well?
So sleeving the block is like really good insurance on those 5.4, 5.8s, and really even on Coyotes up at that power level too.
Yeah.
Sal, it sounds like you're asking for a blower for yourself. And you probably want it like tomorrow.
Let's see. Mario says I just sold him. Thanks. Well, you gotta wait till March, Mario. Sorry, but we're working on the pre-order plan. I was told Calimer wouldn't even quote for my build, said Mark. I don't know. I can't comment on that. I know Ben Calimer makes some awesome granule transmissions, and I don't know what else is up there.
He's coming out with a new gear set too.
Oh yeah, he is for MT82, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. You know, I want to know what our braking limit's going to be on MT82 on 18 Plus. Because now apparently those have different gear set, and we're going to have twin disc clutch. Or we have, not we're going to. We have the 18, they're out. So I wonder what the braking point on those is going to be.
It's probably not going to be great.
Really?
Salvador said today.
Today. Well, hop in your car, drive it to Florida. I'll see you sometime tomorrow afternoon.
I don't know if I'd say that. Like, I know there is at least got to be at least one guy on here watching it like, okay, so if I really hop in my car and come there tomorrow, you can give me a 2650? Like,
so that invitation is only open to Salvatore Ortega.
Okay, good. Glad we clarified.
If he does call my bluff, I am completely prepared to play ball.
Salvador, I've never met you. I've heard of you, but I'll see you tomorrow.
He's in Texas.
He's in Texas. Sounds like you got to start driving about...
14 hours if you're on the east side?
You just start driving about 2, 3 a.m.
Yep, he's in Dallas.
And make it here before we close.
Oh, Dallas is a haul.
If you really come, Salvador, I'll stay late tomorrow to make sure we can make it happen.
So
there you go.
We're over committee. There's other people that are going to make this out.
Mike Kelly said should have available for testing at Texas 2K.
There will be a lot of Gen 3s on the property at Texas 2K.
I was going to say, how many do we have?
Michael says, Sal, bring $4,000. And Mike also says,
Salvador,
another
take
Mike
a plane,
says,
bro.
take a plane, bro, take a plane.
I want your car though, Sal.
Yeah, that's the problem. We need your car. Anything over on the YouTube?
No, right now it's kind of quiet.
What else we got cool Ford-wise this week? They're letting you make your own Mustang logo for your 18. I think that's kind of cool.
Phil wants to know what VMP stands for.
I know what it stands for.
Velocity Mustang Performance. When I was 18, that's what I called it.
Okay.
It's just kind of evolved and we shortened it.
All right, he showed my custom make-a-badge kit. But yeah, Ford for the 18 is going to let you design your own Mustang badge. And then if yours gets picked, they're picking so many, and they're going to actually give you your own billboard across the country. They'll have your badge on the left, your name underneath, and then they'll put the 18 Mustang's front end on the other side. And yeah, that little clip you just saw was the testing of that or whatever. That was our media guy having fun with it.
I just feel like, Donnie, you and Evie would just kind of take the crayons and just shh.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'll get Evie. Evie's going to help me make my own badge. And then, actually, you can buy it on your own t-shirt, coffee mugs, all that other fun crap. So,
Mike Ayano says,
VMP equals Whipple Killer.
Yeah.
No comment. I gotta play nice. My boss will yell at me. Yeah, there's nothing else. A Ford GT at VIR, that was funny. You don't even know what VIR stands for, Drag Racer?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to go there one day.
I've been there, it's great. Actually, I had a fun time. So the Ford GT broke the lap record at VIR. But the hilarious thing about it was they didn't do it on purpose, in the sense of they were having an issue with the GT. I don't know what the issue was. They, of course, won't tell us. But they wanted to verify the issue, so at another track they had this issue. So they sent that Ford GT, the red one, and another driver to VIR to just randomly test. And they beat the the Viper ACR's lap time by 1.5 seconds, accidentally. They were literally just beating the hell out of the car, trying to replicate whatever issue they had before, and they destroyed the Viper ACR's lap time by 1.5 seconds.
That's freaking awesome.
With a two-man crew. You know, normally when they do these lap record challenges or whatever, they do like after a big racing weekend where IndyCar was there or something, they'll go out because the track just got cleaned immaculately and a bunch of fresh rubber just got put down from however many hours of racing. So it's pretty impressive they went out there and just did it accidentally with no prep, no nothing else, no pre-planning. Phil
asked us earlier, he wants to know if we offer a supercharger for the 6.2 F250.
Yeah.
Roush kit. We need to work with you on the tuning depending on the year of it.
Slab Shack over on YouTube says, will the new throttle bodies and adapters be better with a ported BPS inlet on a 14 GT 500?
Yeah, you could run that BPS inlet with our throttle body adapter. It'd be bigger, that'd be good.
You have a bunch of comments that came in over on Facebook.
Michael Lano, Ford GT should have had 5.2 with the Gen 3. I'm with you. I like the V8. Oh, Mario just saying he appreciates us taking the time to answer the questions. Yes, sir. That's honestly why we started the show, is just another outlet for you guys to chime in, ask us whatever, and
you're welcome, Mario.
We can get back to you. John Ford, getting a Gen 2R installed right now here in Canada. What clutch would you recommend to almost 600 rear wheel horsepower?
Sounds like a Coyote.
Sounds like a Coyote.
Mantic.
Mantic all the way.
I think we got Mantics in stock too.
We do. We have a lot of them because they're heavy and I had to move them the other day.
This is actually a pretty good question. Nick says, Justin, do you have an engineering background or did you teach yourself the science of making better flowing parts as you went?
Oh gosh.
That's actually a good question.
I like to answer these types of questions carefully to be respectful of people that went to school for 4 years to get an engineering degree.
So you're very politely explaining why you didn't go $100,000 in debt.
I have just spent a lot of time thinking and playing and dynoing and tuning, and with a desire to make more horsepower and make things go faster at the track.
I got Philip asking, have you guys played with the Focus ST? Yeah, I just did probably a month ago. We had an ST in here that got lowering springs, downpipe, catback.
That was my brother-in-law's car.
That was your brother-in-law's car.
Yeah.
He got the Cobb motor mount, got the Cobb intake. Yeah, we mess with STs. In fact, I don't know if you've seen it, but we built an RS for SEMA, so we've definitely had our fair share of fun with the EcoBoost Focuses.
My brother-in-law loves the ST, by the way.
Oh, does he? Good.
Are we headed up to Maple Grove in May?
Yeah, Dorian's asking, are we going to Maple Grove?
Dorian, we will not be there for NMRA. We will be there 2 months later for the American Muscle Show again.
And then Justin just asked about NMRA Hebron, Ohio.
We will not be there either. So we got a few more minutes. Oh, we're almost out of time. We'll talk a little bit about our event schedule real quick because we're getting so many questions. We're going to be participating in some of the NMRA events like Bradenton next weekend and Bowling Green at the end of the season. However, our official dyno and show schedule is going to be Ponies in the Smokies in late March, and we'll be participating at Texas 2K, by the way, but we won't have the dyno there. We will have the dyno at Ponies in the Smokies, and then we go to Shelby Fest with the dyno with Kyle Caraway and his crew in Missouri.
Yep,
so that gets us kind of pretty far west, just not real far north, but it's still up there.
That's middle of the country.
Yeah, and then we'll be at Carlisle, Ford Nationals. I think that's like June 1st. We'll be there with the dyno. We've got the American Muscle Show 2 weeks later. And we got a couple other events around the end of the year, Mod Motor Nationals and stuff, but we're trying to get all of our customers that usually come out for dyno tunes to come to a couple of the big shows. It was getting to be a lot of time out of the office for us to be at all of these smaller shows, you know, sometimes 3 or 4 times a month in some cases.
You have a couple things over here on YouTube that I'd like to hit real quick. So Nick is the one that asked the engineering background question. He said, no need to hold back. I'm almost graduated as an aerospace engineer, and I can tell you that school teaches you more math and physics than common sense. And then John says, I don't know if this has been asked or not, but would the Gen 3 work with a 14 Coyote, quote, stock motor? And would there be a considerable price difference between the Gen 3 versus the Gen 2R?
So we talked about that a little bit earlier. We're looking at some bigger pulley options to keep boost down on stock motors with the Gen 3. It's going to be more expensive, and we're going to offer some kits, but they're going to be a lot more expensive, and they're going to be geared towards people that want to make a lot of horsepower and push their stock motor to the bleeding edge, and to people with built motors.
Richard says, you mentioned a few weeks ago that certain tires were not good for traction on the dyno. What brand tires do you recommend for the street, and what would work from the dyno from your experience?
So drag radials are not the best for the dyno. If the pressure's too low, they make the car dyno a lot lower, and they tend to chunk out a lot when they get hot on the dyno.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it's a traction issue. I think it's more, it gives you a manipulated number, and we're worried about the tire on the dyno. It hooks up just fine. You got anything else on YouTube before I jump over to Facebook real quick?
No, you're good.
All right, well, let's knock out some of these real quick. Oh, I guess. Woodward Dream Cruise 2018.
We won't be there in an official capacity. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it to that show this year.
Okay. Michael is commenting on the ZR1 with the 6.2 beat the Ford GT by a second and a half. I wasn't going to touch on that, but we can real quick. Yes, Ford went out and accidentally broke the lap record. Didn't even know they broke the lap record until they got home from the event. Because like I said, not event, it was just a day of testing. And yes, Chevy went out with the ZR1, did a full-blown production day, had a whole pit crew, and managed to beat the GT. So if we want to call it apples to apples, yeah, sure, the ZR1 beat them. I'm sure the GT will be back in full capacity to reclaim the title.
Gen 3 Coyote swap kit.
Yeah, Craig wants to know.
We're looking at that. We're working with Power by the Hour to make some specific Coyote swap kits that just, you know, have all the parts in one place and are the reasonable costs and everything. So that's in consideration.
Blake Ross, you said you guys worked on STs and RSs. What are your thoughts on the SVT Focus, easily tunable? I don't know about the easily tunable part. That's a question for my man sitting next to me. I like them. If you just need a daily beater, something that gets fairly good gas mileage, but still gets you excited when you hear the blow-off valve, awesome cars. Tunability, that's a question for this man.
Well, I'm a little bit older than you, Donnie. The SVT Focus was NA.
Yeah, wasn't that the 2-liter that dropped valves?
Yeah.
The Z-Tech motor? Yeah, gross.
We can tune them. You know, they pick up a few horsepower, but it's really old tech at this point.
Talking about the ST and RS, though, we can get people tunes and everything else for that, right?
Yeah, we do SCT, Cobb.
Yeah, we can get you everything for those, exhaust, intake, turbo, whatever you want. So give us a call on that one, man.
And I think we need to get back to the dyno soon.
We do need to get to the dyno. It's 7:05. It's my bedtime in an hour or two. So I think that's all we got for questions. If you're not seeing anything on YouTube over there, Carrie,
Nope, you're good.
make sure you guys like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like you said, like, share, subscribe. Catch us again next week.
Maybe you'll hear a number next week. Maybe.
We'll have a number for him.
Okay, so there you go.
We'll have some numbers for him next week.
We'll have some Gen 3 numbers for you next week. Give you every reason to tune back in. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.